For 6 months, I've been fighting these bastards, whether it's Tucker Carlson or whether it's Nick Fuentes, and I've been looking over my shoulder looking for help. And you know what I found? Nothing. Nothing. We're here today to do something about this. What do you mean we don't cancel people? We canceled David Duke. Donald Trump canceled David Duke. We canceled Pat Buchanan. We canceled the John Birch Society. We canceled Joseph Sobran. We canceled pornography on TV. We cancel stuff all the damn time. Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters, American haters, Churchill haters, you're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them. And if they're your friend, there's something wrong with you. No Hitler admirer, Holocaust denier, platformer should be anybody's friend, as a matter of fact. You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist bullshit around American patriotism. You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America first when you're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists and Hamas and the terrorists. That's not America first. That's sick. The cowards. We're surrounded by cowards who have microphones, who have TV cameras, who have websites, who have columns. Cowards. It's spelled C-A-R-L-S-O-N. It's spelled F-U-E-N-T-E-S. It's spelled O-W-E-N-S. It's spelled B-A-N-N-O-N. It's spelled Marjorie Traitor Greene. You can figure that out yourself.
All right, guys, that was just a taste of Mark Levin unloading on Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owens, and Steve Bannon. He wants them all canceled and says they're not MAGA. But before we play the rest of this video, please remember to hit like, share this video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below because it really helps this channel. Mark Levin even went as far as to say that if you're even friends with any of those people, then there's something wrong with you. He called them traitors, cowards. He's going to go on to really sound the alarm bell here. Let's take a listen to that.
This poison is spreading. We've got to take care of business. We can fight the enemy on the other side. But the problem is, the more daunting problem, the more complicated problem is when they're in our house. And they're trying to take over our house, and they're burning down our house, and they're destroying America First, and they're destroying MAGA, and they're destroying the Republican Party, which means they're destroying the country. Either speak up and stand out, but don't be a pretender. Don't be a pretender. We need help to deal with these people. These aren't policy disputes. These aren't personality issues. We're talking about liberty versus tyranny, good versus evil, right versus wrong, democracy versus terrorism, Western Enlightenment versus 7th century barbarians, the greatest generation versus the Third Reich, Chamberlain versus Hitler, Reagan versus Stalin. Is it really that tough to call these buffoons out and to set the record straight? No, it's not. This is America first, not the sick rantings of unaccomplished Neanderthals who have social media sites who've contributed absolutely nothing to this country. Zero. What have they contributed? What have they done? Nothing. To ignore this, or to be timid, impotent, tolerant, to acquiesce to it, to waste time debating these people rather than exposing them, to intellectualize it, to respond with anything but moral certainty and clarity, to fail to fail, to call it out everywhere and anywhere, is to be devoured by it. You want to know what the 1930s was like? You're looking it in the eye. That's what it's like.
So at this point, Levin is throwing every name in the book at Tucker Carlson and Fuentes. He's calling them evil, Neanderthals, psychotic. He's saying it's not worth even debating them. And he's actually warning that right now he believes the United States is just like the 1930s, which he's making a reference to before World War II when Hitler rose to power. Now he's going to go on to actually explain that and compare Nick Fuentes to Adolf Hitler.
Little Adolf. Fuentes, little Adolf. He gets here, he's got a little suit on like he's attending a funeral. My advice to little Adolf is just go full, put the brown shirt on. What are you, a coward? Put the brown shirt on. I know you can't grow the Hitler mustache, you're still stuck in your prepubescent stage, but give it a shot. Give it a shot. To Tucker Carlson, I say, did you have a head injury? What happened to you? But you know what? Unlike other people, truly, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't care why. I just know what you are. You platform these people. You deceive your audience. You lie to your audience. You become a full-blown, out-of-the-closet Jew hater. And if you're a Jew hater, you're a Christian hater. If you reject Judaism, you reject Christianity. If you reject Judaism and Christianity, then you reject the American founding based on the Judeo-Christian values and belief system.
All right, at this point, it's pretty clear that Levin absolutely despises Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. He takes some personal shots at Fuentes, saying that he should grow a Hitler mustache, but he can't because he hasn't hit puberty yet. He says that Carlson must have hit his head just for platforming Nick Fuentes. And then he goes on to say that if you are anti-Semitic, then that means you're not a Christian. I do want to point out that Nick Fuentes is Catholic and Tucker Carlson is a lifelong Episcopalian. I think he goes on to say more about that later. But right now, he's going to talk about how powerless he believes that Fuentes and Carlson are.
These aren't powerful people. Seriously? These aren't intelligent people. These are lowlives that have platforms. I want to say this to the people who are attacking America by attacking Jews and Christians, by attacking our history. I want to say something to you. You're not going to get what you want. You know why? Because we're not going anywhere. Not now, not ever. Ironically, you little bastards have done more to unite us with our Christian brothers and sisters and Jews. I don't care, atheists, agnostics, straight, gay, men, women, whatever it is. You have done more to unite America than anything else in this country. Because Americans love America. Americans love freedom, liberty. Americans love the Golden Rule, the 10 Commandments. We Americans love our Bible. Americans, some the Old Testament, some the Old and the New Testament. They're in the same Bible for many people. We are hooked at the hip, Jew and Christian, and nothing will or can come between us as we face the Islamists, the Marxists, and the pro-Hitler crowd.
So that part was really interesting because on the one hand, Levin is saying now that people like Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are powerless, that they're not intelligent, and they're going to be defeated. But on the other hand, he was saying that these people keep him up at night. He's dedicating a whole speech to this. He's saying that people need to speak out now. And then he also makes a point about saying that Carlson and Fuentes and everybody else are uniting Americans around their joint Judeo-Christian heritage and that they're coming together because they love the Bible. But then he mentions gays and atheists also coming together around that. So I don't really follow there. But let's keep listening to Levin wrap up here.
Here's the thing. If you're an American patriot, you're an Israeli patriot. If you're an Israeli patriot, you're an American patriot. It's that simple. We are very fortunate to have truly two great men in the world at the same time. It doesn't happen often. You had Franklin Roosevelt, whose domestic policies I completely reject. But in his alliance against Hitler with Churchill, it was a great marriage. Reagan and Thatcher, Trump and Netanyahu. Stand up, Trump and Netanyahu. And I just want the anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-West crowd to understand something. You're going to have to come through me and millions of people just like me, and you're not going to make it. You think your stupid little podcast, or your stupid little subscription program, or your little TV show, or maybe you have a little radio show, is going to change the world like hell it is, not if I and everybody else have something to say about it. But I just want to make something clear to you. Americans are good people. Americans love good people. We want to be with good people. So good people need to stand up and speak out. I don't care if it's in your church or synagogue, little community, I don't care where it is. Don't be a wallflower. It's now or never.
So Levin says that being an Israeli patriot is identical to being an American patriot. He also compares Bibi Netanyahu and President Trump to Reagan and Thatcher or Roosevelt and Churchill during World War II. And then he goes on to say that Carlson and Fuentes have stupid little podcasts and that they'll have to get through him and people just like him, and that he's not going to let that happen. And then he wraps by saying we need to speak out again. You need to go to your church or synagogue and try to mobilize people. But I do think it's obvious that at this point, Mark Levin has panicked. He's terrified about what's going on. He keeps comparing this to Hitler in the 1930s. I don't think he's going to let off the gas, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens going forward if people do start to ostracize Tucker Carlson. I mean, he was a host on a major television network for years. A lot of us, including myself, were very pleased when he got the show and he replaced Bill O'Reilly. I thought he did a great job with that show. So it's really going to be interesting following this as it moves forward and see what really happens to Tucker Carlson. Guys, if you liked this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.